Hey everybody, welcome to an episode of SEO-TA or SEO-TA Search and Talent Acquisition. That's what we're talking about today here at Job Hub Central. And today we're going to talk about share of voice in the Google For Jobs widget. We're all about the Google For Jobs widget all the time. So let's talk about a concept called share of voice. How much of the visibility in the job widget is going to different publishers? How should we think about it? How should we look at it? How can we look at it? Let's get into it, guys. All right, let's start off with our basic Google for Job widget view here. I've got part-time jobs, Richmond, Virginia, up in the search here. That's our query for right now. And here we see all of the buttons. And when we're talking about share of voice today, we're talking about who's getting what percentage of these buttons for this entire query. So we see talent.com, LinkedIn, salary, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Simply Hired, ZipRecruiter. So what percentage are publishers getting of that visibility? Because that visibility equals clicks and traffic. Now, how can we look at this data, though, sort of in the aggregate and sort of at the individual keyword level to really prove like what we're feeling? A lot of us feel that certain publishers, some of the big ones here, are getting all the visibility, right? I've seen it anecdotally. I hear it all the time that it's hard for other publishers to get viewed. But let's take a look at some of the data and see if that actually bears out. So we're going to go to a website called foragetools.com. I'll put the link in the description here. If you go to the website right now, the data is free to look at. You can either click the See for Yourself button or the View Free Data button here. Either one will take you to a dashboard. It looks like this. I'll make another video about all the things that you can do with Forage. But right now we want to kind of stick with share of voice as it pertains to visibility within the widget here. So if we look at by publisher, total share of voice, just some background here real quick. This tool has about 200 keywords loaded into it. They get updated every couple of days, right? So 50 keywords, 4 geographies. Those geographies represent different size cities in the U.S. That's the data we have to go off of, right? So there's no branded jobs in there, so no Amazon jobs or things like that. It sort of kind of helps the data be a little more agnostic, right? Because something like Amazon jobs, like Amazon is going to skew all the data toward it, and that kind of muddies up stuff. Maybe as we get larger data sets, we can start to add those in. But if anybody at Amazon wants me to do a specific one just for them, holler at me. Click the contact us. I'll be more than happy to set that dashboard up for you guys, Amazon, or anybody else. Anyway, so here we see all the different publishers that this tool has collected over the course of the 200 keywords over the course of, I don't know, seven days. And so here we see LinkedIn number 1 as far as share of voice goes with the percentage of the buttons here, right? And so if we look at the top here, 6.5%, 6%, 5%, like that's not super dominant. I mean, certainly, that's a fair amount, right? And you've got all these publishers, a couple percent here, a couple percent there. One thing I will point out is like you've got, Indeed and Apply Directly on Indeed. Since this is looking at button text, these two are not combined. In future, we can combine these two, but right now I'm okay with the fact that they're not combined. So, I don't know, 7.5% for Indeed. I'm sure LinkedIn gets a couple more somewhere in here. ZipRecruiter, you're going to add to it. All that Glassdoor, right, moves up if you combine them. So maybe the top 5 or whatever, are getting about 20% of the visibility. All things considered, that's not terribly unrealistic considering those are the big sites, right? So why wouldn't Google show those? But I know that it feels worse than 6.5% or 6% when you go and look at things. So if you look at a specific publisher by keyword, let's take a look at ZipRecruiter here. I've already got it pulled up. Those numbers change drastically at the keyword level, and that's what we feel, right? The problem with this view is that if you're a Google product manager for Google for Jobs and you're looking at data at this level, it feels very equitable, right? But that's because you're looking at the total of all the different publishers for all the different queries all at once, and there are thousands of them. So this number gets driven down just by the sheer number of small publishers, individual direct employers. They're all in the mix, right? So this number is driven down, and it looks at this level equitable. But if you think about it from the individual posting or individual query level, those numbers are way different. Sometimes they can take. Maybe there's a small number of buttons or a small number of jobs. That's fair. The point is that at the individual keyword level, these numbers are much, much higher, and that's where we all kind of feel the pain as far as like, hey, this site is dominant, or why isn't my site as dominant, or it feels like Zip or Indeed are just crushing it. If we looked at LinkedIn here, we can bring them up. It might take a minute to come up. This site should get faster in the future, I would hope. But again, huge discrepancies for LinkedIn. I wouldn't call it discrepancy. I would just call it actually just dominance, right, at the keyword level. And so that to me is really the crux of what share of voice looks like. So here you can see LinkedIn overall, the share of voice isn't crazy, right? They're LinkedIn. But at the individual keyword level is where we feel the pain. And so that sort of wraps up kind of how I think about share of voice, how you can look at share of voice for you or your competitors. Feel free to check this tool out. It's free for now, so get it while you can. And let me know what you think in the comments about share of voice in the Google for Jobs widget. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.